AT-AT Commander has just been itching to take his Scarf for flight. That's why he brought with him today Ace of Aces for the Atari 7800 Pro system, which basically looks like an airplane stuck on one of those insect boards where you stuck push pins through them. Oh well, let's go ahead and take Ace of Aces, pop it into our Pro system, and see how this one flies. Let's go to the game. Ace of Aces was published by Atari and carries a copyright year of 1988. It is based on the 1986 computer game published by Accolade. Ace of Aces is a single-player flight simulator with one standard mode of difficulty. According to the manual, it's World War II, and you are one of the most aggressive pilots in the British Royal Air Force. Now it's up to you to pilot your Mosquito to stall the enemy who is coming by land, air, and sea. When the game begins, you can choose either Practice or Mission mode. In Practice mode, your plane is preloaded with any weapons you need. You can choose to practice dogfights against other planes or try your hand at bombing enemy trains or U-boats. If you choose a mission, you can customize it with up to 4 selections. You can try to blow up flying V-1 rockets, take down enemy bomber planes, or take out enemy U-boats and trains. In the mission modes, you are given full control of being able to load up your plane with bombs for bombing U-boats and trains, rockets and machine gun style cannon shells for aircraft, and extra fuel. However, your space on the plane is limited. The game starts off automatically in the air, as you never have to take off or land while playing. There are several screens you can switch between by double pushing the right fire button and pressing the joystick in a certain direction. By double pressing the right button and pressing up on the joystick, you will be in your standard cockpit view. From here you can see your compass with a black line showing you where the next target is, airspeed, artificial horizon, altimeter, and radar with enemy altitude meter to the right of it. From here you can also use your joystick to move the flight stick and the right fire button to fire your weapon. There is also an indicator at the bottom left that shows you if an area of your plane needs attention by blinking red. By double pressing the right button and pressing right or left, you can look out of your corresponding window where your wings are. From here there are some more gauges including fuel levels, throttle, and booster gauges. There are also several levers to use by moving the joystick over one of the levers and holding down the right fire button while you move the joystick to use it. There is a fire extinguisher to use if your engine is on fire. You never land, but you can lower the landing gear to slow down. You can use the trim to adjust direction, wing flaps to brake, throttle to adjust speed, and boosters to control the pitch of your propellers, which should match your throttle. By double pressing the right button and pressing down, it will bring you to a navigational map showing you where you are, your targets, and your base in London. Avoiding storms can be beneficial as flying through them can damage your plane. The game ends when you either are shot down or return to your home base. It is possible in the game to get damaged without being destroyed, but the damage may affect your plane and its instruments. By double pressing the right button and keeping your joystick centered, you will go to your bomb bay doors. Here you can see how much ammo you have left, switch between your guns and rockets for air fights, close and open the bomb doors, and drop fuel tanks to lighten your load. When you are over either U-boat or train targets while at 1,000 feet going 100 miles an hour, you can open your bomb bay doors and bomb your targets by moving the crosshair and pressing the right button. The U-boats will begin to dive as you move, making the target smaller and smaller. The train is easier to hit, but the train cars with the red cross carries Allied prisoners and will cost you points if you destroy one. At any time, you can press the left button to show your status screen, essentially making it a pause button, a rare feature for a 7800 game. Scoring wise, you can get anywhere from 100 points to 1,000 points per item you destroy, but you do get more points if you destroy it with a rocket versus your machine gun. You also lose 200 points if you hit the train car with the red cross. When you complete a mission, you get 2,000 points for a safe return, 50 points for every bomb you return, 50 other points for every rocket you return, 10 points for every cannon shell, and 10 points for every fuel tank. Graphically speaking, I think the game looks pretty good, and I like all the various views. However, I did not care much for the choppy animation of the clouds in the cockpit view. There is not really much music or sound to the game except for your basic sound effects and a little musical ditty at the end of the game depending if you died or not. So basically, get ready to listen to the droning of your engines during the majority of this game. Family friendly wise, yeah, this is a family friendly game just containing basic flight combat action. On eBay, loose copies go for about $7 to $10 and complete copies were selling for about $11 to $12, and as always those prices include shipping. So what did I think of Ace of Aces? Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, I really liked the action and variety, and for the most part I thought the game controlled well enough, except for two big exceptions. I really wish they repurposed the left button to switch screens instead of double pressing the right button. With the method they went with, I would sometimes accidentally switch screens or do something else when I did want to switch screens, and ended up doing something like wasting ammo firing a weapon that I didn't mean to fire. And I also found it very difficult to get my plane at just the right levels to trigger the bombing sequences with the trains and the U-boats. So basically, I never did them in the missions, only in the practice mode, which sets it up much easier. So how am I going to rank Ace of Aces? Well, it's going to be really close to another flight simulator, F-18 Hornet, which is currently at the number 23 position. On one hand, I found it easier to attain precise instrument levels in F-18 Hornet, but I did like the variety and graphics a little bit more in Ace of Aces, so I'm going to make Ace of Aces my new number 23 game. Ace of Aces may not turn you into a flight simulator fan, but if you are one, you might want to check it out on the Atari 7800. If you enjoy retro-related videos, would you please click the like and subscribe buttons? You can now support the show through Patreon as well. Just follow the link in the description below. And be sure to check out some of my other videos covering Atari, Sega, Nintendo, and more. With over 200 now posted, there's something for just about any retro fan. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of The Nose for a Gamer. Take care and take to the skies.